Yeah, okay, time to live free. Plenty goals I'm achieving. Some real life topics and talking financial freedom. Mindset, soul and love, everything in between. This is Freedom Podcast. Tune in, live free. Hey, got my mindset right and I got the drive. Planning one day, no more job, no more 9 to 5. Love, money, mind. Love, money, mind. This is freedom. Tune in, cause it's going down. Woo!
Hi, this is Anna and welcome to another episode of Your Freedom Podcast. In this episode, I interview Yolunda. Yolunda has taught in public schools for over 20 years. She's an inspirational speaker with an infectious smile and contagious energy, and known for her compassionate spirit, ambitious mind, and being unapologetically herself. Yolunda currently teaches Spanish to 8th graders in her local school district in Texas, Dallas. She has held multiple titles in her 20-year tenure, including Teacher of the Year, Department Chair, and Campus Cheerleader. She's a Marvel fan, loves to laugh, tell lame jokes, and spending quality time with her 5 grandkids. Yo was diagnosed with the disease of alcoholism in 2019 March and is passionate about sharing her journey with others in hopes they too may be freed from the bondage of addiction. Freedom to Yo is finding a rhythm with all the parts of your life and making them flow the best way it can be for you. Be yourself every day. I caught up with Yo. I met her in the Clubhouse app and she's got such an inspiring story beating addiction, and she's got a fantastic Facebook group which we will share in the recording. So really excited about interviewing Yo because I think she's got a really valuable life story to share with you all. Thank you. Hi Yo, I'm really pleased that you've given us this time to interview you today. So really pleased to have you on the show.
I'm so excited to be here. Thank you for having me.
And I know when we spoke last, you've just got so much energy. I love it. And we've connected as well on the Clubhouse app. So many cool connections that all of us have made recently on this cool app. I think it's fab for just networking and making real connections. Because social media it's good and bad, isn't it? But I think the Clubhouse app so far has just really, for me, created some really genuine good connections. So
I think it's a balance. I don't even want to call it an app. I think somebody asked me, what did I think about the social app, the social media? I said, the social part is there, but the media is kind of missing. You don't have all that, you feel like you have to post this, you got to say that, you got to do all these things. It's just really showing up and going to a room and meeting some really cool people.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I was in the karaoke room last weekend.
Hey, I missed that. I would have had so much fun with that.
So I think it's good as regards to like making business connections, just people in general, isn't it? I think, really good. So I know that you have got your group, Be Yourself Every Day, haven't you?
Yes.
So I wanted you to tell everybody that's listening how this all came about. So tell us your sort of backstory of how you've come to be doing all the fab stuff that you're doing today.
Okay, sure. Let me see. Be Yourself Every Day started out because for years I wasn't myself every day. I'm 48 years old. I know, black don't crack. I look pretty good. But when I was in my 20s and 30s and even early 40s, I was living a life that was pleasing to everybody else. You have people, the term people pleaser. I was trying to make my husband happy, my kids happy, my in-laws, my job. Anytime I felt like I was trying to fit into a box with everybody else's standards.
Yeah.
And the more and more I did that, the more and more I kept losing what I would call my true self. And instead of me acknowledging that I was slipping away, I started to mask it and mask all the frustration, the anger. Because see, baby sister, for me, I've always felt, am I looking at you now? I get so confused sometimes. Am I looking at you with the camera? You look, okay, good. I'm sorry. I mean, like, look at the camera. I'm talking. Anyway, for me, I've always had this fire in my belly. I've always had this ambition to want to be something, do something. And when I started trying to do all these things for everybody else, I was avoiding pain and frustration and anger, and I was masking it through drinking. So I drank for 2 decades, like just at first socially, at first, just for fun. And then over the last 5 or 6 years ago, it got really, really bad. And I was drinking because it was a day. It didn't matter if it was a celebration day, if it was a bad day, good day. If it had to be a day in, and I drank. And I drank because I didn't want to feel. I didn't want to feel all that stifleness, all that limitations. I felt like my life was about to end because I was in my late 40s, and I'm like, oh my God, what have I been doing my whole life and things like that. So I drank to the point that I didn't want to live anymore. I literally, the last day I drank, which was March 11, 2019, the last day I drank, I also attempted to take my own life. I had a bottle of wine, and I had poured this glass. I drank Behringer White Merlot back then, 14.5%. I was all about percentages. So I poured this glass of wine, and I set it on the table in my living room right before my television show was about to start. And I literally had a conversation with this glass of wine. The same way I'm talking to you, I talked to that wine. And I was saying things to it like, I don't want you. I'm tired of what you're doing to me. I'm lying. I'm broke. I'm sick. And I just felt so hurt that I couldn't find another way out. So I drank that. I took some pills. I didn't want to wake up. My husband found out what I had done. He got concerned, of course. He's been married almost 30 years. He got concerned. He tried to console me. I got pissed off. I decided to go run in the middle of the street, just praying that some kind of car would knock me out and kill me real quick. And to God's glory, none of that stuff happened. So I ended up in the hospital, ended up in rehab, and I found out that I had a disease of alcoholism. And I didn't know that. I thought that I was just broke and hurt and immature and not strong. And it turned out that there's just something wrong with me that I can't fix. And so when I realized that and I went through all the rehab levels, I walked away like, this is me. All of this is me. All of that ambition, all of this pain, all of this struggles and everything I went through, that's who I am. And once I looked in my mirror and I started to accept all of that, that was me being myself. And I have this joy and this peace and this positivity. And granted, I always had some kind of energy, but this energy level is different because it's authentic. It's mine. It's got my signature yo on it.
Yeah, exactly.
And so I started the group. I started the group because I wanted other women to also feel authentic, to be able to come to a place where they can start to figure out who they actually are. I ask like random questions and stuff, and they can be themselves and be themselves every day, unapologetically, because that's where peace is for me.
I think that's so true. I think it's we talk about when we're talking about social media and stuff like that. I don't think social media helps, does it? Because everybody, like Facebook, for instance, everyone's putting their perfect life on there. Like Christmas time, all the matching pajamas and all these kind of things. When actually, you'll find that probably a lot of people have got a life of hell.
Exactly.
And so social media doesn't help. But I think
it doesn't.
It is just society, isn't it? That maybe just like growing up, like family expectations or pressures and things like that you're going to get married, you're going to have kids, you're going to have, there's all these like set out paths that you kind of got to do, or I don't know.
All these comparisons. Like I always used to tell people, like, stop wearing masks, and not literally not the COVID mask, but that mask of not being themselves. I mean, now we got to wear a mask so we can see, but people have been wearing masks their whole lives, including me. I was wearing this mask. This mask of like, oh, I got to be this and I should be that, and why am I not this, and all this crap. And social media did not help. I get on there like, oh man, they already made it. Oh man, she got that AP job. Oh man, he's already, and internally I was just,
It's funny actually, because I was listening to a room on Clubhouse last night and I actually fell asleep listening to it because that's how late it was.
No, that's a get you.
I was planning to get on the stage and I woke up at like 3 a.m. like, oh, obviously the room's finished. But because I was so tired. But what they were talking about was leadership and leading with positivity and And there was this whole debate going on, and I was like really wanting to get on the stage and say something, but I was
What was you gonna say? I want to know what you was gonna say. What was you gonna say?
because it was all about like not showing negativity and this that, and the other. And I was thinking, well, actually, I found through my journey that, like you said, like being open and honest about yourself. Like, why do people think that their whole thing should be perfect? Actually, I think leadership is about saying, you know what, I'm having a shit day.
Exactly. And it's okay.
Because more people are going to be like, yeah, well, because everything is laid out like you've got to be this perfect way. I mean, I remember going through like when I was going through a really bad time, feeling like, oh God, pull yourself together, be positive, be positive, be positive. And it wasn't until like I had this therapist who had said to me, no, just let it out, like let that feeling pass. Don't fight that feeling.
Exactly. That's right.
And that really helped me and really woke me up to, yeah, why do we do that? Why do we always do that?
I think like it's comfortable too. I mean, it's what you've been doing. At least for me, it's what I had been doing for years. And everybody can't afford a therapist, and everybody doesn't really need a therapist. What they need is more people like us who can get out there and just be like, hey, you know what? I fucked up. It is what it is. Like this happened today, or I felt this way, and I'm still a good person. I'm still positive. I'm still, living my life authentically without having to be, oh, but I did this. It's just the world we live in, unfortunately.
No, yeah, definitely. And I think you made some good points there about just completely just be, it is about being yourself and unapologetically as well.
Right. Yes.
Because nobody has, you'd have to be a machine, wouldn't you, to be completely perfect all the time.
Yeah.
And they were also saying on this thing about sharing, one of the people speaking was saying that actually they shared a bad time and then getting through that bad time, how good that was. But there was all this big debate about doing that. And I was all like, I know that since I've shared my story, which wasn't a particularly nice one, but showing that I got through it, and loads of people were surprised because I'd hid it, for ages.
Yes.
Actually, I got loads of respect from people, you know what I mean? Loads of private messages and all this kind of stuff, because I think it just shows real reality.
Yes. Yes.
So I think that's what leadership about, is actually saying, either I messed up, or I'm having a bad day, or I went through this time, but came out the other side because I kept on going, and because life is, we don't know what's around the corner, do we? No. We don't know, someone close to us could pass away. Things can basically throw our equilibrium out in our head. Yeah. And none of us are perfect. And I think it's just about being real and just leading from that. That's my opinion. But obviously I fell asleep. I was really, really keen to make honestly, I was so tired of fell asleep.
Well, you got it out today.
Exactly. Well, the problems with Clubhouse is all you US guys. Obviously, we're ahead. So I'm always like 1 or 2 o'clock listening to it. And I think I've had a few late nights recently. It's funny. So obviously in the group, what kind of stuff for people who are listening to this, they might think, hey, I want to join this group. We'll put the link in the show comments or on YouTube so that anyone listening to this can go and join it. But let us know, like, what do you do in that group, sort of thing?
Well, actually, I just got started. It just launched not too long ago, because I started to try to connect. What I want to do is share my story with my Facebook group. So I revamped some things. But I'm a teacher. I've been teaching in public school for 20 years.
Okay.
And so yeah, girl, yes, a whole nother level of stories right there. It's a whole lot. So my room is kind of thematic. I have Mindset Monday. And I might put a quote on there or something like, would you wake up thinking this morning, to kind of get people to start knowing who they are by relating to things they used to feel. I think I have a Throwback Thursday. Yesterday, what was a song that you listened to as a kid that if it came on right now, you'd want to run outside and, jumping down in some water or something. I try to get things to connect back to ourselves as kids, because that's kind of where it all resonated. We learn our personalities are defined before we're 80 years old. So to be able to kind of take it back a little bit and then bring it to today, like tag a friend Tuesday, let somebody know that you're grateful for them. Let somebody know that you're, because we, like you said, we're not promised tomorrow. So my room is like that. My group is like that. Room, look at me, Clubhouse. My group is like that. It's so funny that I find myself saying room and group.
Have you been doing anything like your own rooms in Clubhouse on the same kind of theme?
I haven't even started a room yet. I'm still new to Clubhouse. This is my third week. And that first week, I had the little hat. And if you don't know yet, the little hat means you've been there less than 7 days. And if you go in the certain rooms, they cheer and scream for you for being the newbie. But that second week was my first time I caught myself in there at 2:00 in the morning, my time. So I think it might have been like 11 o'clock for you. So all you people, you Brits and everybody else, I was like, what is going on? It's 2 a.m. I'm still on this thing. So I love that part of it, but I haven't had my own room yet.
Because I was just thinking it'd be great for you to do a room around that, you know.
You're right. It would. Because I think if you do 3, then you can open up your own house. So right now I could do that.
Yeah, you can get a club.
Because I love finding out people's stories. I love that. I just love, like, who are you? Like, really you.
Well, we should do one together. We should do.
Oh, girl, let's do it. Yes, yes.
Because that would be good to kind of get different people, and it's also quite good, I think, doing it when we're from different countries, because then attract all these different people, you know, from all over.
I love the idea. I can get those people 2:00 in the morning on my end. You get people 2:00 in the morning on your end, because it'll be afternoon somewhere.
Exactly. Because I've been doing a lot of stuff around Amazon and e-commerce, but I think for me, it's like you say, it's like fire in my belly around sort of hearing other people's stories, and everyone's got a story to tell.
Yes.
You know? Everybody's had some kind of adversity. It's just that some people have had really traumatic ones. Other people, they've still had some adversity, because life, like we were saying, it ain't perfect. So yeah, we should do. We should. And get people together and sharing their stories.
We just call it, "What's your story?" Be you.
Or
who are you? Who are you? Oh, girl. Okay.
We are happy to like throw out your brand, but it could be something along those lines, because I think it's just important for people to talk about it. Because when you hear people, I suppose it's like where you are on that journey, isn't it? There could be people that are like, not, it sounds bad saying a few years behind us, like it's not an ego thing. It's just that hearing us share that, like, is going to make sense to them and help them open up a bit, you know.
Exactly. That's what it does.
That's why I put this together, this podcast, because I think, like, you know, people could be listening to this who are probably drinking too much.
Yeah.
And it's getting, you know, it's escalating a bit. And then, you know, because that's what I was going to ask you, that what advice would you say? I mean, it's hard, isn't it, when you're in it? Something has to wake you up. But what if people really were listening to this and thinking, you know what, I can relate to that. My drinking's getting a bit out of hand.
Mm-hmm.
What can I do to kind of get the help and support? Or what, you know, what would you advise to do?
I would advise them to know that there's hope. And I break down hope in an acronym. And hope, the H is for help. You want to find some help, and it doesn't necessarily mean a 12-step program or any special group. You can just ask for help by sharing your feelings. Let somebody know that's close to you that you feel a certain way. Like, I just kept holding on to all that pain and anger. I didn't let anybody know. So seek help by sharing, and then take some ownership. Realize that either you're going to be a victim or a survivor, because that's what alcoholism does. It puts you in position to choose, which one am I going to be, a victim or a survivor. And once you start seeking that help, it puts you on the road towards survivorship. And then take some pauses in your life and just sit back and breathe. Just stop and think, why am I picking up this glass? Why am I buying this bottle? When you start asking those questions, it again puts you in a position to choose victim or survivor. And it also lets you seek that help by letting somebody know, this is what you're feeling. I'm picking this up because I think I have to. I'm picking this up because I don't know what else to do, you know?
Yeah.
And then take it easy. The E is for take it easy on yourself. So it's HOPE. And take it easy means that once you start that journey, and once you start to realize that you might have an issue, you didn't get that issue. I didn't become an alcoholic in 2 decades. I mean, in 2 days. You know, it's a 2-decade issue. So don't take it easy on yourself to know it might take you a little while to get to this level of joy and peace, but it's coming. There's hope in the hopelessness. So that's what I would tell somebody who's feeling that way. Don't hang on, pain ends. That's another one. Hang on, pain ends. Hope. That's what I want to give you. Have some hope.
Yeah. No, I think that's really good advice to anyone that's listening about that, because I think things can soon escalate. Because I know when I was going through a bad patch, you know, I noticed that my drinking was increasing. What actually happened is my ex-husband saved me on that, because he was causing that much drama outside the house that the police kept getting called. So that was like preventing me from having a drink.
Yeah.
that stopped me because, and you know, like if I needed to suddenly get out of the house with the boys, whatever, I knew that I had to be sober. It sort of just suddenly, it was like I'm not drinking in the week, you know, and it just stopped.
That's
Before
beautiful.
it was escalating more,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
you know, I noticed I was drinking more. So I kind of, in some respects, need to be grateful for him for causing
Yeah,
me.
just a little bit. You might not be doing this podcast today because that stuff
I know.
it'll kill
Yeah.
you. It'll break you down and
And then I
kill you.
got addicted to mint tea, which makes me sound really boring, but I just use so these days that's mint tea. I might
Just
have
put some honey in it. Put some honey and some lemon. Spice it up a little bit.
yeah. So what are the plans for, obviously you've got the group. Are there
I
any
did be
plans
yourself
you've
every
got
day.
for this year that you want to share, or anything that
Yes, I am excited to announce that I'm going to be launching my own podcast in
Ooh,
less than 30 days. It
love
just
it,
is
love
something
it.
that's been on my heart. And I love this. I love this environment. I love being able to shine that personality and give people this energy. So I don't know what it's going to be about yet, but it's going to be fun. I
Yeah.
know I'm going to ask people things like, would you rather? Like, would you rather talk to animals or would you rather control the weather? That'll be one thing I ask. One of the things I'm going to ask people before they leave. I got to know you. What would you rather do? So it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun. So that's my thing. Launching my podcast. I'm gonna keep my speaking career going. I set a goal to be on 21 podcasts in 2021. The beautiful Anna has given me podcast number 4. So I'm on 17 more to go.
That's good. Yeah. You've
So
done
that's about it.
like
Just keep living.
in a month. That's really good.
Yeah, I know, right? Girl, Clubhouse. Clubhouse. 2 of them came from Clubhouse. And I'm sure once they get on there, because I've been kind of like, let me sit back a little bit. Because that Clubhouse can, like you said, 3 o'clock in the morning, 2 hours, 4 hours a day. I was on there once. I was leaving transition from getting my hair fixed to coming home. I got on Clubhouse, completely forgot to get my nails done, to get my toes done, get my eyebrows done. And I had this photo shoot coming up. I said, see, they damn Clubhouse. But it's something about those rooms because you get to really just be you, and you connect with people, and you just feel like you're at this ongoing party of life. And you just you get on it. And I was like, dang it.
I've scheduled it now. Like I do certain rooms, but I've got to admit, like the weekend it goes all out. But then I think, well, we're in a lockdown here in the UK, so it's good kind of like social, you know.
Yeah.
On the weekend.
We should be in a lockdown. My dumb ass to
So
country. We should be.
That's fab though that you got the podcast coming out. That's really good.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm excited. I don't know what it's like I said, I don't know what it's going to be like, but I know it's gonna be fun.
I think it's funny. I was looking at some stats recently. There's been loads of I launched mine last July, so July 2020.
Oh wow.
And there's been like a massive upsurge in this last year, probably because of the pandemic. You know, people say,
yeah.
But compared to YouTube, podcast is still quite small, so it's good because it just means that you've got more potential to reach more people. You know, YouTube's a bit more busier, so yeah, good luck with that one.
Thank you, sis. Thank you.
So I always ask people when I'm interviewing them, what does freedom mean to you? Because of course, with the Freedom Podcast, we focus, I should have said this at the beginning, we focus on the 3 pillars: love, money, and mind. But I think everything that you said sort of, because love is all about self-care and self-love. Money is obviously fine, you know, money helps, financial freedom helps you not be stressful, you know, and mindset, you know, it's interesting. I remember like looking back, having a really bad day, and then the next day I was like, like, life can be so up and down. A lot of it is perception and perspective, isn't it, on things? So what does freedom mean to you?
Oh girl, freedom to me is finding a rhythm in all 3 of those things you just said. You know, people say balance. I have to balance my life, balance my mind, balance my money. But if you can find a rhythm, if you can find that authentic flow for you, that's freedom for me. To be able to know, like, yeah, I can have a great day or a great moment. I don't even say days, because that's 24 hours. You know, some people start off and spill their coffee. Oh, I'm having a bad day. That was 2 minutes. Like your whole day is fucked up and you stop for 2 minutes. So freedom to me is being able to see all of that and flow with it. Like it's just being unapologetically yourself and being able to just enjoy moments. That's freedom. That's freedom for me.
I like the rhythm thing actually, because balance, everyone talks about balance, but balance, it's really hard to get balance, isn't it?
It is.
Rhythm means a lot more to me. I think I really like that term.
I'm glad.
Yeah.
Because it's that flow. Balance, like I said, but I don't have enough money, but I have all this energy. And I know, just how's it flowing? Because that's unique. It's like a melody in a song. That's unique. Everybody's flow is different.
Definitely. And it's all different people's priorities of what they're doing. Exactly.
That's right. That's right.
Love it. Love it. Well, big thank you for coming out and sharing all the fab stuff you're doing, and being a bit vulnerable and sharing some of your story.
Thank you.
It'd be great to do it. Let's do it.
We're going to. That's going to be awesome. I just love the whole chocolate vanilla thing, the whole 2 countries. We got so many things to work with.
The yin and the yang.
Yeah, the yin and the yang.
The yin and the yang with you.
Yeah, the yo and the Anna.
I love it.
I love it.
So thank you ever so much for your time, because I know it's very early over there right now.
It is.
And you've got a full day ahead of you, but you've started on a real positive. It's always great sharing your story, I think.
Thank you so much for having me on here. It was such a joy. I can't wait to get this room together with you. We're going to have fun.
And if anyone's listened to this and they want to join Yo's group, Be Yourself Every Day, the link is in the comment section. She's doing some fab stuff, so make sure you go and join her group. And come on Clubhouse and come and find us. We might be doing this as a regular
room. The yin yang room. I think it's gonna be called the yin yang room. I think that's perfect. The yin yang, because that's bad. That's you got that half and half. The rhythm. It just they flow.
Yeah,
girl.
That's good. I love it. Cool. Well, thank you very much for coming on, and I will see you in the Clubhouse very soon. All right then. Cheers, Yo.
Adios.
Thanks for listening to another episode of Your Freedom Podcast. And don't forget to subscribe on iTunes and subscribe on my YouTube channel. And if you want to get more freedom in your life, then come and join Your Freedom Project Facebook group, which the link is below in the comments section. And I am giving you a copy of my visualization manifesting book. So manifest more freedom in your life and live the life of your dreams.
Hey, thank you for listening. Hope you had a blast. Here to elevate your life. It's the Freedom Podcast. Love, money, mind. Love, money, mind. Wanna see you all win. Wanna see you all shine. Just make sure that you subscribe. Bringing good vibes. Join the Facebook group. Now it's time to change your life. Hope you come back. Right now is the chance. This is an experience. It's the Freedom Podcast. Hey.